Hi everyone. Today I'm taking on a small but super useful challenge, sharpening the dull knife sitting in my wife's kitchen. If you've ever dealt with a knife that just won't cut, you know how frustrating it can be. As you can see, this knife can barely cut through paper. If it were sharp, the cut would be straight, smooth and much cleaner. To give you a better idea of how dull this knife is, I'm going to try cutting a tomato. This real-life example will instantly show why a dull knife tears through paper and food instead of slicing smoothly, making it frustrating and unsafe to use. After just 2 cuts, this knife completely crushed the tomato. It looks really bad, almost unappetizing. So, we can clearly see and conclude that this knife is truly dull and can no longer be used effectively. But don't worry, because I have a simple solution for this. At the start of the video, I'll pick a simple spark plug from the more than 10 scattered in the basket. The first step is to remove the inner core of this spark plug and discard it. Next, I'll secure the threaded part of the spark plug into the drill chuck. We'll use this tool later to polish the knife blade, but that's only for the final step. For now, we'll set it aside until it's needed at the end. Did you know? Turning used AA batteries into a proper knife sharpening tool is not complicated at all. It's actually very simple. In this trick, we'll start with 2 regular AA batteries. Here, I've prepared a piece of 400 grit sandpaper. This grit is just right for sharpening the knife without damaging the blade. The first step is to place the length of the battery along the width of the sandpaper. Then, align it and mark the paper to trim off the excess, so the width of the sandpaper matches the length of the battery perfectly. After trimming, I'll attach the 2 batteries by placing one at each end of the sandpaper, bending and gluing them until the batteries curl close together, forming an angle of about 30 to 35 degrees. This angle is ideal for sharpening a knife because it allows the blade to make even contact with the abrasive surface, providing enough pressure to sharpen effectively without removing too much metal. In my hand is a piece of wood sized perfectly to serve as a knife sharpening base. It won't make the blade any sharper by itself, but it acts as a stable support, keeping the sandpaper and battery steady during sharpening, ensuring safe and effective operation. And to sharpen this knife more effectively, I'll trim the rough fabric to size and secure it onto the surface of the wooden base. The fabric adds the necessary friction, making the knife sharpening process more efficient and consistent. Before we start sharpening the knife for real, watch the demo on screen. It's really simple. You just need to slide the blade in a straight line between the two batteries, making sure it contacts the sandpaper evenly for effective sharpening. Alright, let's get started. Spraying a little water on the sandpaper before starting helps reduce friction, prevents excessive heat, ensures more even sharpening, and also limits unnecessary wear on the blade. After sanding, the blade is noticeably sharper and cutting feels much easier. So now we move to the rough fabric to refine the edge and give the knife a smooth, polished finish. And that's it. I can feel the knife is now much sharper with smoother and more efficient handling, but that's still not enough. We'll set this tool aside and move on to the final polishing step to perfect the blade. To polish the knife blade, we can combine the insulated ceramic handle, a bit of toothpaste, and the rotation speed of the drill. This combination helps make the blade smooth and sharp, while the process remains quick and easy. After polishing, I'll wipe the knife blade with a paper towel, which immediately reveals its smoothness and sharpness while removing any leftover debris or particles. I can see the blade is now gleaming. It looks great and feels amazing in hand, showing that all the sharpening and polishing really worked. Before concluding, let's test the blade on paper and a tomato. See that? The blade slices through paper effortlessly, leaving a straight, smooth cut, showing it's fully sharpened and ready to use. Instead of rushing to a conclusion, let's test it on a tomato to get a more accurate result, checking if the blade maintains its sharpness and smoothness on soft food. At this point, I can confidently say it's a success. The knife is now sharp, slicing through paper smoothly and cutting a tomato effortlessly, proving the sharpening and polishing process really worked. I hope this little trick will be helpful in your kitchen. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you won't miss the next tips. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.